Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy cows here on the Ask Us Internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews from March 28th, 2022, with your host, Peaceburger2448, and wrap that episode along.
Hi.
Hey, we're at that episode that everyone references as like, hey, this is how strong Kuuga is, and I hate to disagree with you, but I think you've interpreted the episode wrong. There's literally an episode that foreshadows, oh, there's more to this than that. Yeah, it's more Kuuga this week with 29 through 32, as we skipped 31 pretty much because it's a clip show episode.
Again.
Yeah. Have you got to check out Revice this week at all? How'd you like our half season finale? I guess.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
It's what the writer described it as. It's the finale of the first half of Revice, which some people have taken literally, and I'm kind of just looked at them and go, that's not happening.
I mean, not really, no.
Unless they decide to put together some sort of, like, special for, like, a couple episodes or so, that's not happening. I think it's less literal and more just, oh, this is just the finale of the story point. But, okay, I thought this new Revice form was Thundergale Revice. Apparently it's just Revice, which confuses me slightly.
Yeah, that does me too now. Because I would have expected it to be, you know, Thundergale.
Yeah, because the previous form is Jack Revice, and this is just Revice apparently. Which means that that's not the final form, because we have one more past this. Probably for the best, because I don't particularly care for the look of this form. Even in motion.
I mean, yeah. I get what they were trying to go for, and it's like, okay, the form doesn't suck because of that.
It
but
needed
the
one
form
less
sucks.
color. Yeah, it needed one less color. Honestly, get rid of the yellow. Just have it be pink and blue on top of the black and gray. That would work. Even though the pink is the problem color in this, because it's the fleshy pink tone.
But
like,
you kind of have to keep the pink because, you know, that's kind of part of the base form.
That's the Revy color, and the blue is the vice color, so remove the yellow. Just be pink and blue. Which would work. But yeah, that's fine. Also, Olteka's dead. He got flowers, so...
Oh,
he is dead. He is dead. Which... fair enough, he has served his purpose.
Yeah, and then some.
Everyone's talking about Aguilera's getting slapped by Gifu, and I mean, I kind of saw this coming. It's a part of her character arc. Where
Yeah.
all she wants to be is Gifu's husband, and then Gifu's like, no.
I want
And then
no
she
wife.
realizes. Then she can realize, fuck this asshole. I can just be my own person. And then she gets to be her own person. And, you know, considering that she's the second most popular character in this show, she's probably going to get a belt at some point.
I would hope so.
Watch, she gets to be the fourth person to slam the Demon's Driver on.
Probably.
I will be honest. Apparently, people have complained about George becoming a writer.
Fair.
I'll be honest. I did not see him becoming demons.
I did
I
not
saw him-
either.
I saw him becoming his OC Ultimate Rider thing that he talked about a few episodes ago.
That just so happens to use the Demon's Driver kind of deal. Because I could completely see that.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if they bang out a third repaint of this. Just an extra, make some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good episode. It's a nice setup for everyone going forward. Apparently next week is, oh, by the way, Hiromi's not dead. So we're going, hey, by the way, you should probably watch the special at some point. Because we're going to confirm in the show now he's not dead. Here's a movie to help him remember stuff. Which feels more like just a break episode. Before
Yep.
shit gets real.
It's the not recap episode.
Yeah, this is what it's feeling like.
I hate being that way, but yeah, that's exactly what this is.
Yeah. Which, it's fine. We just came off a big finale and all that hoopla stuff, so hey, we could use a tone resetter episode. I think I've officially quit Non Brothers.
Oh boy.
I tried to watch episode 4. Try being the key word here. I got, I think, 5 minutes in. You know what broke me?
What?
Don Momotoro's backstory. Would you like to know what that is?
Sure.
So apparently, he's a really smart kid that's excellent at everything, and then he went around to people telling them they did stuff wrong, and then did it right for them. And people got upset about that. And when they just got angry at him and told him to leave, he thought they were all having a party for him. And then they all fucked off and left, and he got sad. Does that remind you of anything? Because it reminded me of Kabuto for a hot second. And I was like, nope, I'm out. Nope, I'm good. I can't do this. No. I can't. Not again. I'm good. So yeah, I think I've quit All Brothers, and I probably will be better off for it.
Yeah, probably.
As I see everyone else is liking the show, and I'm like, all right, fucking sure. I guess I get to be the grumpy butt. That's just, this show's bad. Just like I'm somehow the grumpy old man with the fucking O's V cinema. Whereas everyone else likes it, I'm like, fine, whatever. Anywho, it is 29 through 30, like I said, folks, for Kuuga this week. Any thoughts before we hit the recaps?
No?
Alright then, we kick off this week with episode 29, Crossroads. So, our knife friend, he's back. He's apparently cleaned up his act, for the most part from the looks of it. And he's working on an art piece for some contest commercial for something. I don't know if they specified what the commercial was for.
I don't remember. I feel like they
neither do I.
did, but I don't remember.
Yeah. But that's happening in the background of this episode. Meanwhile, we're over at the Pole, where Kazari's working on his scrapbook that apparently patrons of the Pole like to look through. So
he says.
For business. Yes. Good for business. Godai's going to be hanging off to Tsubaki to get a checkup. We check in with Sawatari real quick. She's pondering that one translation that we're going to be pondering for the rest of the show. Jean drops by with Mika because he wants to take her to the lab so he can show her Gorham, since a piece from her father's lab is a part of Gorham. Hey, this is the thing that literally helps us. Yay. Check in with Akita. She's talking to the cop boss person. I don't know has been named. Has he ever been named?
I think.
I'm sure he has, but I don't remember. Which isn't surprising. There are a ton of side characters in this, or supporting cast in the show. It wouldn't surprise me. I just blanked on someone's name because it got said once and I just don't remember. But they're talking about furthering their capabilities to kind of like lessen the load on Godai. And also in this episode, we find out that Jean knows that Godai is Kuuga, and Mika knows that Godai is Kuuga because Godai transformed in front of Mika, and Jean, I guess, got told at some point. And also the boss guy knows Godai is Kuuga because he names dropped Godai. I don't know when he got told, but I guess that happened between episodes. But we also get a tease for the Beat Chaser, which will be our replacement bike for the Tri Chaser for reasons we'll get to in the last episode of this batch. That's when we head over to Tsubaki. He pretty much confirms what we've talked about for the last few episodes of, hey, me hitting you with the defib gave you the rising powers. Also, they seem to be coalescing in your right leg. It's very worrisome. Is that okay? Are you feeling okay down there? And Godai's like, yeah, it feels fine. So bear that in mind for the next episode. We also got our new Grongi that is using a roulette table to pick a direction from this building the Grongi have taken over, apparently. It's this big fancy building that they're just hanging out in that I guess no one else is. But it lets him pick, it has him pick a direction, and then he throws a bunch of giant balls in that direction, and how many ever people it hits, that ups his count. This is like the least complicated thing I've seen these Grongi do so far.
Yes it is.
It's also the least accurate thing any of them have ever done. Just, I'm gonna pick a direction, I'm gonna throw shit, and if it hits people, well, that's a good. So that's happening. Ichijo gets called in, the police deploy. They don't have a concrete location yet, but Godai is called in as well. Jean and Mika tour the lab. We see Akita has to walk away for work stuff. We do catch up with Ichigo and Godai after they get a location, or get the building the Grongi are in pinned down. So they head up to a nearby rooftop to see if they can spot the Grongi, and lo and behold, they spot him just hanging out on the balcony, ready to throw it, and then throw another one. So Godai goes up, he fights him for a bit, and he is heavily outclassed, even in Rising Titan. He can't out-tank giant steel balls that start as little tiny rings. So he gets beaten down, reverted to Grongi form, or not Grongi form, growing form. And
I mean, that
Knife
too.
Guy, yes. And this whole time, the Knife Guy has been kind of like trying to get to the area, or the place for this contest, and the Grongi attacks have disrupted him, and now he's trying to hop a police barricade to head there, which Apparently, he's doing a worse job than Sawatari did because the police do catch him and tell him, like, no, don't, it's dangerous, stop. Wouldn't it be easier just to escort him?
You would think.
Like, the guy's in a rush. Why don't you just escort him in that direction? Like, you know what to look out for. Just be on the lookout for a giant flying steel ball coming towards your head. But yeah, that is episode 29, which feels shorter than it should. I don't feel like I missed stuff, but that was the episode. Did I miss something?
I don't think you...
It doesn't feel like I do, but I'm like, that does not feel like a full episode of Kuuga, but like, I feel like a lot of these scenes are kind of consolidated into each other.
Yeah.
Where you can consolidate into like, just, this happens.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that does kind of happen.
Yeah. But that takes us to episode 30, Fate. So, Knife Guy ends up getting turned around by the police, so he has to go find a new route. He runs into the Grongi in his uniform and gets knocked out just by running into him. Because man is tank. Because he is, I guess, a turtle Grongi. So, he's out cold. Godai gets taken to the hospital. With where Tsubaki is. Sawatari was heading there beforehand. Because Tsubaki wanted to talk to her about the current condition of Godai. Checking the police real quick. They're coming to the building for clues. Ichijo calls in Kita for support on this, and we find out that the new bullets and gun require new guns, and they're working on kind of getting the balance right for that. But she can offer a small clip of bullets, I assume. Excuse me. A small clip of bullets for Ichijo and Sugita and the other cop guy that keeps showing up. Only one of them is going to be using these bullets here in a bit, so I don't know why they brought 3 cases of them.
Reasons.
Yeah. But apparently they have a lot of recoil, so they're a pain in the ass to shoot. But Ichijo's like, well, whatever, just, we need those bullets. That's when we catch up with Tsubaki and Sawatari. They're just talking about Godai's, like, healing factor, essentially, and how fast it is. Hey, Charizard, how's it going? Along with, like, the rising powers and all that. And we also see that Godai's back on his feet after getting the shit kicked out of him by Turtle Man. They also spot Knife Guy get brought in. Godai also sees his picture, and he likes his little picture, which, honestly, Knife Guy's picture looks nice. Because it's this... I don't want to say it's a cornfield. It might be like a rice field with, like, a little kid in it. And it's kind of like a bright, sunny day. It looks nice. Oh, doing the Gmod. That is a name I rarely hear these days. I feel like I only hear that if people are doing, like, was it Trouble in Terrorist Town?
I think so, yeah.
The thing that people were doing before Among Us happened, and everyone who played those, like, migrated to Among Us. Oh, there's some Kamen Rider skins. Nice. But anyway, we see Mike and Jean drop by Pol, see Godai, but he's out busy. Knife Guy wakes up. He calls the contest holder, finds out it's closed, so he's upset about that. Checking with Ichigo and the others, they get their bullets, and they're there to support Godai, who is showed up. And he just tells Ichijo, I'm gonna try Rising Mighty, but I got a bad feeling about it. You might want to evacuate the area that I drive to. Which makes sense, because if you've seen the last 3 Gronki he's defeated, they've all resulted in large explosions. So I feel like Godai has put 2 and 2 together and went, if I hit them with the Rising Finisher, there's going to be a very large explosion. And those are not my main ones. This is going to be my main one. And this guy has shaken off a Rising Titan finisher, so kaboom is to be expected. But Tsubaki talks to the knife guy, gives him a pep talk about Godai and stuff. Then we check in with Godai and Ichigo. They confront our turtle Grongi. They end up disarming him with bullets, so Godai can like toss him off a building and through a bunch of stuff. And then use Gorum to drive him out to this. It's not a quarry, technically. It's more like a factory area. I just couldn't think of the right term for it. But he drives him out there, because that should be empty enough. So Godai fights him, and then sets up for a kick for Rising Mighty. Hits the kick, and then we see a massive explosion engulf him, and as the next episode says, a 3 kilometer square or 3 kilometer radius. It is a very large explosion, and that is how we end the episode.
The bloom.
Mm-hmm.
No
So how'd you feel about the first half?
It felt kind of like a slow burn for the last of the, upgrade forms.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, to be fair.
Well, it's all building up to this really big thing that happens that is kind of a turning point in Godai's relationship with the police. And kind of the general public. Because he just kind of caused a massive explosion. Which, to be fair, is not fully his fault. And he did try to compensate for it as best he could. Without knowing how big of an explosion it was going to be. Which, just to reiterate, because a previous episode has talked about this, Godai's kicks and stuff only impart a destruction glyph that self-destructs the Amadam stones. If he kicks something without an Amadam stone, they just kind of just dissolve. They don't really go kaboom. Because it's the Amadam stone that's going kaboom. And as we've seen, the stronger the Grongi, the larger the Amadam stone explosion. So, technically Godai is not the full cause of this. Which I feel is a context a lot of people miss when they talk about Godai's power level.
Probably.
But that's just me pointing out that, no, Kuuga cannot rider kick the world in half. That is not how Ultimate works. That is a comment from, I think, the director out of, like, way out of context. But otherwise, I like the episodes. I like the build-up and then the abrupt end of just, oh no. This is gonna have consequences, won't it? Any other thoughts before we hit the second half? Ish?
No.
Alright then, episode 31, Retaliation, is the clip show recapping this, part of the show from our last recap. It does start by giving us some information on what happened with the explosion. Essentially, a ton of property damage in a 3 kilometer radius, and there is backlash against Godai because he done committed a whole lot of property damage. killing a monster that murdered people. So yeah. And I believe at the end of the episode, he's called in by Ichijo to handle our biker friend because he's the next Grongi up. So that takes us to episode 32, Obstacle. So we see Godai get called in. The biker Grongi is the one is just running down people on bikes and just killing them. Which feels a little impractical how he does it, because he just like runs them down and then like keeps bopping them, like popping a wheelie and then bopping the back of their motorcycle.
Yeah.
Which feels incredibly impractical. Like, you could just run them off the road. But I guess he has to be extra because he's, you know, impersonating Ichigo and all of that. But Godai gives pursuit. He ends up missing him at a warehouse. But as we find out, this Grongi chased a guy all the way to the top of this building and then took the elevator down on his motorcycle and almost ran over Ichijo on the way out. But the two of them see this and they give chase. They end up in another warehouse area. Godai and the Grongi fight, and he is outclassed to the point the Tri-Chaser kind of gets a little bit of damage. And we find out that every time it's fused with the Gorum, because this is also talked about in the first episode of the batch, it like wears down the metal on the bike. It causes like a very fast form of fatigue. So the bike has become brittle over time, and it's more or less on its last leg. And our new bike is set up to be able to handle a lot of that metal fatigue, or be able to handle these fusions with Gorum. But because of this, the Tri-Chaser cannot change colors anymore, which means the changing colors was a thing that was a part of the bike and not a Kuuga power thing. Apparently.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
I guess. I ask how.
I do too, but yeah, sure.
Sure. But yeah, Ichijo is now calling in Akita to be like, hey, we need to beat Chaser because we're going to need it to take out this Grongi. And Akita just has to go, I can't. I got to hand it over to these other cops because Godai did property damage and now we're not allowed to help him. So, sorry? Godai is very understanding of this. It's just like, well, I still got this bike. I'm gonna try something. And he just kind of rides off to go chase down the Grongi. We see a continuous assault as Ichigo tries to go talk to his boss to try to, like, convince him to help. Kind of dead ends. No help there. So, Godai's more or less left with a almost dead bike and the cops trying to scramble to figure out what to do. So, at this point, Ichigo gathers together, you know, our kind of cop supporting group and comes up with a plan. They plan to corral the Grongi to, like, the outskirts of town, like, towards the sea. They plan to, like, get him out there so that when Godai has to kill him, the explosion will be minimal on property damage and minimal on anyone around. If they can get him out there. So that is the plan. We also get a quick Super 1 reference with the Popo gang visiting a grocery store that is named Super 1. You can probably understand why. And that is the short and long of why this scene exists. Moving on. But they put the plan in place. Ichijo's off trying to get support. And I assume trying to convince them to, like, give us the Beat Chaser because we need it. So Godai and Sagita are partnered up. And apparently Godai knows about his daughter. I assume Ichijo told him about it.
I would hope so. Otherwise, what the heck?
Yeah. It's one of those times where, oh yeah, this show just assumes that like things happen off screen, and whenever we say something like that, if it's not mentioned in an episode, it just happened off screen. Which feels weird and wrong, but works in this show. I don't know, I'm okay with it because it's never a big deal. So they start working on this plan. Unfortunately, a bike cop gets a little bit too eager and gets in a little bit of a fight with the Grongi and gets demolished. So now they're trying to scramble to figure out how to corral him. We do follow up with Nikita real quick as the cops show up to take the beat chaser, and she's like, no. It's like, nah, I ain't giving it to you. It stays here. Because, no. But Godai does catch up to the Grongi, fights him. We get a... one of these wonderful, awkward bike fights. I don't know what it is, but they just don't look right. The two of them revving their bikes, hopping around this like beachside area, trying to like hit each other, but to hit each other they can't. Yeah, they have to fake it every time they do. It doesn't look good. There's a reason that we did this once and never again. But yeah, they do the fight. They end up trading blows that cause their bikes to go in opposite directions. So the Tri-Chaser lands near the Gronki, and the Gronki's like, dibs! And takes the Tri-Chaser and is now going to try to kill Godai with his own bike. And that's where we end the episode. So how'd you feel about the first half of this little two-parter?
I wish we didn't have a clip show, so we wouldn't have ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But otherwise,
yeah, it was
pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It's just the bike fights just don't work.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Just please get off your bikes and just do a regular fight, please. Stop it. Stop it. That's good. I like which we're following up on the fact that, oh, Godai caused a whole bunch of property damage. We should probably solve that. And I think I've said this before. Damn, that is... that is more than I thought would be in a Gmod for Ryder. Like, damn. I honestly wouldn't think Gmod would have that many Ryder skins. I figured it would have like, it probably has a few every now and again. Probably doesn't have anything like super up to date. But like, damn, that's actually fairly expensive. I wonder what's the source for all of them. Oh, one person. Okay, they're all... I guess they're made by one person? Okay. I figured they were just like model rips and uploads from some source. I don't know, pick a writer game. Probably that one. But yeah, it was nice to see that, and it's pretty much setting up a thing we'll be getting to next week. But any other thoughts?
No.
All right then. It's a shorter week this week with TGSR because, like I said, it's 3 episodes. We don't have a super whole lot to talk about. So Wednesday, we continue Craftopia. Y'all get to see my pitiful excuse for an island. Or a base, I guess.
And I'm
it's the
sure
same
it
island.
could be worse.
Probably. Thursday, it is Battle Racers plus... I forgot the other game. Gombride. We'll be taking a look at Battle Racers and Gombride. Saturday, we'll be doing Halo 2 speedrunning with the Arachnophobia skin. Skull.
I mean, that
It's not
too.
Yeah. The Arachnophobia skull. Got the skin. And then next Sunday, we'll be continuing our look through Kuuga. So, folks, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. And TG Saloon on Twitter gets you updates on my life. Next page point, Discord chat. It's this sort of thing. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks. See you Wednesday, folks.